Hello there, welcome ladies and gentlemen, Donspektor here today with an world's first unboxing and maybe, fast enough, also world's first review. Today I have for you the Tangzu Nezha, I'm gonna show you when I unbox it, and the Velvet ear tips. Velvet obviously not first, there's already quite a few people trying it, but the Tangzu Nezha, nobody seems to have tried so far, if I pronounce his name correctly. So let's see what you get. I have not looked into this. I can just tell you for an IEM and one pair of ear tips, this packaging is huge. Way too big, like it should not be this big. So let's see what you actually get. Seems to be wrapped in some foam. And oh, yep, that is a big packaging. Where's the tips? Here at the side. Okay. Soup. Then let's remove this. And throw the big box out of the picture. And first we start with the more uninteresting thing. The smoothest ever velvet ear tips in S. Yeah, I was just curious how those do. Some people said they really like them, and as somebody who also just likes to try ear tips, I was also like, okay, let's get them in. Yep, that is how they look like. They come in one of those standard plastic cases that most IEM manufacturers give with their more expensive IEMs, and this is how they look. Let's just remove one and take a look in a bit in detail here. Yeah, this is medium wide bore, more on the wider bore side. I would say like 5 millimeters in diameter. The material though is strange. It definitely feels extremely smooth. Absolutely smoothest ear tip I have noticed so far. I can confirm that. On the opposite side here, the outlet at the bottom is a bit small. I'm not sure what wider bore tips this actually would fit. I have to try, I have to see how that's going. And also the material, as you can see here, is on the thicker side. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to my touch, but it's definitively not as squishy as other tips. Yeah, I'm not sure if this will work for me so well, but I have to see. And sizing wise, yeah, this is S. Does it say how big S is here? It does. S is 10.6 millimeter. I would have liked to see a smaller one here, SS, with like 9.9 or something like that. This could already be too much from my ear canal, so yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Oh, one last thing about shaping. This is not exactly how the deep mount radios, or at least from what I've seen, are, but it goes in this direction. So that's interesting to see, and I will yeah, check how this is working for my ears. Okay, but then let's get the boring stuff out of the picture. Let's get the hot stuff in here. So this is the Tangzu Nezha. I don't know how to pronounce this. Yeah, this is an absolutely new product from Tangzu, and nobody from what I could see so far has unboxed it or reviewed it. So maybe I'm actually the first. And it comes with 6 BA and 1 piezoelectric. That's an, let's say, unique combination. I don't think I've ever seen anything similar so far. And yeah, usually I'm not the biggest fan of BA bass, but let's see. Maybe this is actually changing my opinion. Maybe it isn't. I will of course give it a blind try before, I mean a blind try, like just listening to it before measuring it, because I don't want to color my impressions too much. And in this case, actually, because there's no measurement out there, it will be literally blind, like just literally go out and see how it is. And this will definitely get in first impressions video once I've tried it for a few songs. Just don't want to throw everything in one video, so it doesn't get too long. So yep, this is a really big casing for one IEM. They could definitely save some money here if I just shrink the package by like half. It's a bit difficult to show because I'm so close here, but this is, I don't know, this is like A4 sizing, so it's huge. Like way smaller would also have been okay. Let's quickly look at the back here. Yeah, that is, you see what I'm seeing? Well, yes, sample. This is not finished. They literally have not finished this. Okay, yes, that is already a good start here. And ooh, the box is already a bit scratched and scaffolded. Yeah, not sure how well that's visible in camera, but in real life it is absolutely, here you can see it, right? That's already pretty used. Also, the top looks used to me. That is strange, because this is sealed or came sealed, as you saw. I don't know, we have to see. And then we open this and see the presentation, big case, and then the IEMs. Of course, we take IEMs later, because we need to save some we need to save the real good stuff. Let's first remove the casing. This is it. It's big. The last Tangzu I tried was the Heyday, I think. That also had way too big casing. They continue this trend. Like, this is actually, it's a small handbag. Like, you could fit your purse in this, or a few credit cards, coins, and whatever. But it feels well made. It does have a little flex here. I'm not the greatest fan of this fake gold. Just tone it down, in my opinion, and it's also shiny, so that's also just great. Though I'll just give them to that. The color at least here is matching, gold here, gold here. And then let's zip it open and see what accessories we get before we come to the cable. None. Ooh, that is rough. Ooh, that is rough, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck? Look at this. This is already coming out here. Ooh, Tangzu, you gotta do better. Maybe I actually write the seller. This is not acceptable for 300 and something bucks. This is not acceptable. Look at this. What the fuck? No. Not nice, Tangzu. This is not good at all. No. But what I do like is this here, so you can get the IEMs in here. Wrap the cable around so they don't bump into each other, so that's neat. But this is rough. Like, I'm not a fan of this build quality. This is probably the worst I've seen. Even cheap IEM cases usually do better. But wait, before we come to IEM... Oh no, actually here's the accessories. Yeah, this is a bit too much packaging as well. Like, we still have a thick layer of foam at the bottom. This is like, it's really thick. Like, the bottom layer of foam is like this thick, so... They could shrink this package pretty massively and would still, save on shipping and production. Okay, so accessories, you get the Tangzu Tang Sancai tips in S, M, and L. I've already reviewed the Tangzu Sancai in S. Actually, pretty good tip. Liked it. Was just not sure because it didn't wow me if I should recommend it, so I give it careful recommendation. But we also get the Tangzu Sancai white bore here. Let's remove them for a bit so we can take a look how those look like here. Yeah, that is like a bit like horn outlet, but only at the top. The stuff beneath that is not. Do I have a bit shorter? Let me quickly remove an S from here. So we can have the, yep, they are a bit shorter. Okay, that is actually neat. I like a bit shorter tips generally more than longer tips. But you can see the outlet diameter in the inner nozzle, like not the actual like horn part on the outlet, but for that is about the same as the normal ones. But yeah, just the outlet, oh, you can see there's like some black fiber coming off this, also not the greatest because that's going in your ear. But yeah, it has a wider outlet generally here, and not sure if this will work for me. This one here works nicely because it is not so wide at the outlet. It's just standard like a cylinder. So that worked, and it's a bit more like harder at the front. This one here has the same, but it's wider. Not sure if that will work for me, but I think this is at least one of those included tips that I will give in chat, just because it's definitively one of the better tips and is unique for what it wants to be achieves, in my opinion. So, then let's get the boring stuff out. And let's get the good stuff in. I can already say this is a big IEM, judging from how this looks here. And we also remove this. And now before we come to the cable, I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We look at the Nezha. Yeah, okay, this is definitively pretty. It is not as pretty as it was in the pictures they had, because they had a bit less of the red glitter in here and it was a bit better distributed. But it's definitively one of those things that do look cool in real life. Like, this is really nice looking. Maybe I just turn off the lighting for a bit, so maybe that makes it a bit easier to see how the glitter is working. That is really nice looking in real life. I think it does look in real life at least better without the overly lighted here. You can see the individual particles in here, and the color is definitely unique. Other IEMs that went for an optic like this usually don't go for something like this, just black and bright red. And then you get a random ass silicon tip on here. Why did we give you one pair of this M and nothing else? That's a bit of a strange approach, but okay. Other than that, this is a one-piece design. It's resin, so it's just porn, and it does not have any seams. Build quality is definitely good. It's also not light, like it feels like it has some weight to it. So that is definitely nice to see and nice to feel. The insertion angle though is pretty straight from what I can see here. Usually IEMs do a bit better, but are slightly bent in this direction, slightly upwards. This just goes straight. So I'm not entirely sure how well that will fit. And then at the front you can see here that this has a metal mesh, and then behind there's an other mesh filter. I assume the mesh filter behind that is used for tuning, because that is definitely more dense. But maybe it's also just for protection. But my guess, when you have two filters in front of each other, I think it's more likely tuning than it is actually protecting it. And then other than that, we do have not much to see here. There's one pressure hole here near the connector and nothing else. Here it says Nezha and RR. Yeah, that's basically it. It is on the bigger side. Wait, do I have another IEM here? Wait, give me a moment, I just get one. Okay, I'm back. So I got one of my favorite IEMs of the year. This is the Quintet. And Quintet was already not on the small side, but not big either. This one definitely, as you can see, has way more girth to it. And more depth, like that is easy to see. This one is a bigger IEM. Though, but you can also see this one has higher contouring. I'm not sure about this bump here at the side. This could be a bit too much for my ear. But generally this is definitely something where you see they go for a semi-custom layout, and it is offered in custom for I think $100 more or so. Obviously you need to then have ear impressions done and send that. I think this would be worth, the IEM is good. At this price at least it would be like a fair price increase. But yeah, what I see here in terms of build is absolutely fine. I have no complaints of the build, and it feels, yeah, just sturdy. What I cannot say is the cable, like I don't want to pull it out. It's again really snug in here. Basically impossible to remove. So I will move the Quintet and then we take a quick look at the cable. I'm a bit afraid to pull these cables out because they're so tight in there. I don't want to damage the IEM. Today I think we start with the cable from the top. Let's take a look at the ear hook. That is a relatively big U or a big C around your ear. And the texture it has is definitely more noticeable than other I had. And I have a problem sometimes with this being textured because it creates hotspots on your ear. But because this is a big angle around here, this could work actually. I have to see for myself. You do have nicely two colored accents around the cable, so you know where R and L is. I like that. It continues with shininess. I'm not the biggest fan of shiny. But other than that, let me try to just untangle a little bit. I think this is a fairly good cable. This is getting relatively smooth fast. It feels not too heavy, but is sturdy enough. Yeah, this is looking like it could be the same thickness, question mark. Yep, could be the same thickness looking at it. Maybe a bit thinner, question mark. Yeah, but it's relatively close, so that's neat. And the waving on top, or the twisting on top is nicely even done. The chin splitter is, that is moving very difficult, so splitter is probably nothing you should use too much, it's just a bit too tight. We continue with a dark silver palette here, and then below that, 4 relatively thick wires. As I said, it goes like smooth relatively fast, like to see that. And then interchangeable connector at the bottom. We do get only 2 though, that's a bit awkward. Why don't we get the 2.5mm balanced one? 4.4 balanced and 3.5 non-balanced. Strange decision. You already have it, just put in an other one. But let's plug it in here and see. Again, they continue this shiny trend. Not a fan of that. You can already see my fingerprints collecting on it. It is slightly inward bent, so it should be still grippable, but I would prefer something more textured here. But it stays in pretty solidly, so I don't think you have problems with the interchangeable connector here, unlike the Moondrop cable, which had this problem. And you have a strain release that actually does wobble and protect it a bit. It just goes off at a bit on a weird angle, like what the hell is this? Okay, yeah, I think that's it, what is fair to see. So yeah, I will give this a shot and see how it's sounding before I actually measure it. But yeah, this is the Tangzu Nezha, and actually it is looking really good in real life. I like that. It's on the bigger side, though I'm not sure if it will fit me, so let's see. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, if you have criticisms, if you have IEM recommendations or anything else, please leave a comment. And with this, Donspektor out.